Okay, I'm not a liberal, but the bottom line is this. Either we're connected to the land through our great-great-great-grandfathers, grandmothers, over the course of history, and that whole story is true, or it's not. If it is, we're the Indians. We're the first ones. If it's not, then we just came here because of the Holocaust, and the world felt they needed to give us a place.
Okay, can I ask you a question based on that? Is it possible that we are, but so are Palestinians? This is my friend Hamza here. So, is it possible that we both feel that?
No question it's possible. There's no question.
Then what do we do?
And I'll tell you. And as far as I think most Jews who are not of the persuasion of liberalism, where that is basically their religion. They've kind of sort of walked away from their Judaism into their liberalism, and that can happen. It is a religion to some degree. I think that anyone that has lived here and that has been here before needs to have the right to live here. But so do we. If I go and I want to move into any Arab community, I'm finished. I can't do that. I don't have the rights to do that. But the world is totally silent from it. This is true.
So you're
come 1 second. So finish
okay,
the concept.
Go ahead.
If you want to come and live with my neighbor, right? I'd welcome you totally warm, as long as you abide by the rules of the country, and we would live in harmony. But I know if I moved into an Arab area, even though I would really try to be as kind, as nice to everybody, and try to be helpful, I wouldn't exist maybe the next morning, and I'm not being extreme. And that is basically the problem. If the Jews came to an understanding with the Palestinians, and the Palestinians put down their guns, there would really be peace. But if we put down our guns, you know very well in your heart, there wouldn't be any Jews. It would be finished. Why? Because there really is no place for an honest dialogue, because the way that the Palestinian point of view for the honest Palestinian, which I know a lot about the Palestinians, has been hijacked by the people that control the politics.
Is this an honest dialogue?
I don't know him at all, but I'm talking about an honest Palestinian that knows that he wants to live, be able to work, have a home, have a family, have a weekend, go out every day, come back every day, not be fearful of things in his life, like government, Jewish government, or whatever, like anyone living anywhere.
Exactly. Well, this is my friend, and I can tell you from experience that he's a very honest Palestinian and a great guy.
Great. That's great. I mean, I'm sure. Look, when the day comes, that end day, whenever it is, for whatever reason it is, but we all know we're coming to that point, because Murphy's law is, if something go wrong, go wrong. So if the atomic bomb is or the hydrogen bomb is in existence, then the day, God forbid, will come when Murphy's law prevails. And it will happen, God forbid, and it'll probably set off a chain reaction of the domino effect, which everybody's talked about for years. If that day comes, or the Messiah, whatever that Messiah is, let God decide, whoever his name is, whatever he is, I'll take it from God. I don't need to tell me who he's going to be. I'll wait for God to decide that. When that day comes, the people that are good will be. People that are not good will not be. And God knows that.
God are Jews or God
everybody,
are human?
Everybody.
No one more, no one less.
Everybody who's good according to God's perception, which is the only perception, will be. So if somebody is really, really good, they'll be. In fact, in the Tanakh, in our Tanakh, you know what the Tanakh is? So in the Tanakh, it's written in a number of places. What is God requesting us? It says very simply, God says, go and do good. It says do good and go do good. What does that mean? Do good when the situation arises and presents itself to you. But also go out to do good. And that means with everybody, every creature of Hashem, every creature of God, including yourself or anybody else. There's a limit. I mean, there's a time when there's suicidal notions where your liberalism or your kindness can destroy you. Those that are kind to the cruel one day be cruel to the kind. That statement's a very large statement. There is a border to things. There's a border of kindness. If I know somebody's going to kill me, I can't be kind to him because of killing me. So I have to have a border of my kindness and protect myself.
But my people say the same.
Pardon?
My people say the same.
I understand. But as I said, and I started that as a premise because that's really what it comes down to. If the time came when we both could put down our arms as things exist today, if we would both do that, if Palestinians put down their arms, they wanted to live in peace, there really would be peace. But if the Jews put down their arms, there wouldn't be Jews, and that's the truth. And you even agreed to it. Anyhow, if I didn't have to go, I could sit here for hours and go on. It's a pleasure to meet you, and you can see I'm really happy. And if you're good, then you'll be. Just try to be good in whatever you do. Try to be honest with God in a real way, in your own way, in the way that you perceive it to be good.
I do. Good. Have a seat.
And hopefully we'll see each other.
Yeah, welcome. And come to my village and I will protect you. Always.
Just be good. Just look to be good. Real good.
Because we are all here.
We're all God's children. All God's
Cut. And cut.
pleasure.
Think that they were Jews.
Speak the second language?
Yeah.
Pardon?
That they were Jews. Yeah. And they, a long time ago, and they converted to Islam.
No, Jews didn't convert to Islam. I mean, there were Jews that converted to Islam, like there were Islams that converted to Judaism, but it has no connection. It's a very small little percentage, because Jews who know the Torah feel that the Torah is everything is in it. You can turn it over and find everything. And that's why the world really, if you look through history, I mean, from what I studied, I have a degree in history and political science. I have a doctorate in law. I haven't used it in a lot of years, but my studies, if you look through history, you will see that for some reason the Jewish people, generally, when they go into a society, they kind of like they rise to the top, like the oil and water, they rise to the top. There is a gift that we're given. And people of the Islamic faith have their gifts as well. Every group has a different gift that God gave through Abraham.
Yeah, I mean that Palestinians originally were Jews. There's people who say that, and they converted to Judaism.
What I studied in history, from when I studied history here in university, actually, many years ago, before I was as religious as I am today, the nomads, the Bedouins, were really the forefathers of the Palestinians that were here. And they lived in different places. They moved from place to place. There wasn't anyone. There was no such thing as a Palestine. It's something that was made up recently.
100 and something years ago, he said there was nothing and nothing here.
Nothing here. It's like the land lay dormant, waiting for its children to come home.
And only when we came, suddenly this field.
You know, I understand you. I really do. I understand the Palestinian feeling.
My family were here since long
That's
time.
right. That's right.
We have houses.
That's
all
right.
houses.
That's right. And if you abide by the laws of the land,
And
you
who
live
writes
in
those
peace.
laws?
I know what I would prefer if those laws were written, and the time would come when it would be a messianic period, and we all lived in peace, and God Himself would write laws, and wouldn't be any confusion of what they were.
In the meantime, could you accept that both peoples find a way to write the laws together?
In the meantime, you know, it's hard because now you're asking a question where I don't want to lie. So I think under the laws of today that they have in Israel, and again, I'll put it bluntly, in real honesty, and I'm trying to be, not diplomatic, I'm trying to be honest. I'm not trying to be phony.
I appreciate
That's
that.
what this is about.
So I think the truth of the matter is, and excuse me, I don't mean to offend you, but I know that when I see the news, I think it is very biased against Jews. And I think this is tradition.
Which news? Israeli news or?
No, throughout the world.
Okay.
Throughout, anywhere in Europe, anywhere in America, almost anywhere in America, anywhere today, it's very biased because there are people who have their they have their tachnit, they have their plans, and those plans are for a different world order, a different world change, because they know that capitalism, which I am a capitalist, I'm not a socialist because I realize the foolishness, and I wish it worked, but it just hasn't. Their plans are to control, and they don't see the world order changing into more of a godly state. They see the world order changing that unfortunately capitalism may just fall, which we're standing at the precipice, we're standing at the door of this. And if it does happen, everything's going to really change, and it's going to be, there'll be new leaders, new power, new core powers that will control our lives and give us our laws. And believe me, we'll look back at these days as a honeymoon.
Okay, so capitalism not working. I mean, capitalism working over socialism. Do you mean that capitalism is
capitalism
stable?
is a cycle. Capitalism has, if you study economies over the course of years, capitalism, it always goes up and down. It's like a cycle of of collapse, recession into maybe a depression or close to it, and then rising back up, and then going through a cycle again. Sometimes it's 10 years, sometimes it's 40 years. But we just went through, we just lived in the last 40, 50 years, my generation. We're so spoiled because it was the most golden period that ever existed. So we're all feeling it, but we're at the edge of it. We're down. We're going down. So, and that's scary because in other times in history, when it's gone down, it's gone from the white ages to the dark ages, and we could, God forbid, go there. As Einstein said, and I'll leave that as my last statement, that if God forbid it's ever used, if the bomb is ever used, the next war will for sure be fought with sticks and stones, not with the weapon shields we might use.
The guarantees there'll be another war.
There'll always be war between men until God decides the game's over. But the game's over. We can't inherit. We can't win what's upstairs. We can't. The whole purpose of the world is to give us a chance to be able to be with other people and to make small decisions every day, kind decisions, good decisions, where we actually buy or acquire what's going to be our forever. And if we do what's right, we do what's kind, and we're honest with ourselves and with others, and we don't live somebody else's agenda, but we do what's really correct with our own understanding, then we'll have it forever.